I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is going to find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out.
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
good
watching
scrambles.
him with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns. His scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well, and he's solid. So I really
Dance,
think,
man, just dance.
Dance, yeah.
MMA pros have just dropped their final predictions on the explosive showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Robert Whittaker confessed he's got a major bias, but he believes Jack Della Maddalena packs the tools to topple Islam. He spotlighted Jack's solid build, underrated grappling prowess, and quirky striking style as potential game changers that could spell big trouble for Islam. He stressed that hauling Jack to the ground won't be a walk in the park, and spotlighted how Jack's sharp punches, brutal body shots, and knack for landing from awkward spots could seriously rattle Islam.
Why does he beat Islam, in your opinion?
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's a little, he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands. And if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines, but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
Khabib Nurmagomedov declared that he sees Jack Della Maddalena as possibly the hardest matchup Islam Makhachev will ever face. He emphasized Jack's obvious size edge over Ilia Topuria, his matching skill level, and his solid grappling foundation. Khabib noted that if he had to prep Islam for either Ilia or Jack, Maddalena would be the tougher puzzle.
Считаю, что Мадалена самый сложный соперник в Ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов.
И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы.
Ну, мое личное мнение, во-первых, Мадалена 2 раза больше, чем Илья.
Сопоставим.
Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощнее, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэплинг он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Ну, для меня, если я, например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Мадалины, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Мадалена.
Max Holloway fired off that too many folks are overlooking just how lethal Jack Della Maddalena really is. Despite being one of the top fighters on the planet and holding the #2 spot in the pound-for-pound rankings, he said the bout might go down in October and forecasted a grueling, strategic, and thrilling battle. Max cautioned that Jack is no pushover.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is going to find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So, I mean, he is, he's the #2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the #2 pound for pound in the world for a reason, so you got to respect that, but, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Gilbert Burns endorsed Islam Makhachev's shift to welterweight, noting that cutting to 155 pounds had turned into a brutal grind for him. He hailed Islam as one of the most talented fighters out there today, but conceded that Jack Della Maddalena poses massive hurdles. Burns underscored Jack's top-tier training crew, like Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski, as key elements that could turn the fight into a much tighter scrap than most anticipate.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's number one pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Javier Mendez, Islam's coach, made it crystal clear that their team isn't underestimating Jack at all. He slammed anyone who views Jack as a soft target, saying they clearly don't grasp his elite level. Mendez lauded Jack's resilience, especially evident in his war with Bilal Muhammad, and disclosed that both he and Khabib fully acknowledge the danger Jack brings.
Coaches think Jack is easier. We're stupid.
Yep.
We are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Bilal fight, because Bilal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. And he gave him two. Bilal gave him two. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, you know, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Habib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah, and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam.
Mendez elaborated that Jack's threat isn't just his size, it's his versatile striking game. He highlighted how Jack blends powerful punches with kicks targeting the head, body, and legs. While he dubbed Ilia Topuria the sharpest boxer around, he warned that Jack's full striking toolkit poses a massive test. He insisted Islam has to bring his A-game or risk a shocking upset.
We know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a much bigger guy and just as dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights that's not easy. No way in hell is that fight going to be easy. Very tough fight.
Daniel Cormier sent a strong alert to Islam, urging him to sharpen his wrestling ahead of facing Jack. He recalled Islam's struggles in controlling Dustin Poirier and praised Jack's stellar takedown defense lately. Cormier emphasized that Islam needs to polish his setups and control to avoid getting caught in bad spots.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena, who showed great takedown defense. And, man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good in close.
Muhammad Mokaev weighed in on a potential future matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. He argued it would generate way more buzz if Islam grabs the welterweight belt while Ilia snags the lightweight one. In his view, rushing the fight now would squander the opportunity for epic hype.
Now, for example, Islam fights Ilia and he beats him. Example, people say he beat another 145er. But Islam wins the title now at welterweight, and then Ilia beats Oliveira. That's even bigger fights to create, right? So I don't think Islam needs to slow down his career. He go take, even they strip his belt off. In my opinion, he will be double champion, because how that's how it started. If Conor could, why Islam can't, you know? And I think it create bigger name for them if this way better rather than Islam fight Topuria and the hype slows down. You know what I mean? I rather see Islam becomes the champion, Ilia Topuria becomes the champion, and they can fight at catchweight for the, I don't know, whatever they want.
Ian Gary owned up that calling the winner is a real puzzle. He praised Islam's all-around mastery, but highlighted the unknowns of jumping up a division. Gary noted Jack's natural size advantage over Volkanovski, plus his solid takedown stuffs and top-shelf striking, which could create huge issues even with Islam favored.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Israel Adesanya voiced strong faith that Jack Della Maddalena can pull off the win against Islam, thanks to his physique, raw power, and relentless scrambling. He underlined Jack's aggressive pressure in trades and his commanding stature, which could grind down Islam, especially if takedowns don't stick.
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but, and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
got good
watching him
scrambles.
with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns. His scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
Dense,
think,
man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man.
Alexander Volkanovski revealed that Jack Della Maddalena's talent for keeping the fight lively on the feet, even under wrestling threats, paired with his growing confidence from beating tough grapplers, positions him well to counter Islam Makhachev's style.
What I love about Jack Della and what he did with Bilal is he will, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so like, and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, like with Islam, was like, I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're there. But I'll still commit to things.
Later on, once you realize you can handle it, then you were just like, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at the takedown. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Like obviously he's going to do.
Over there.
Hey,
you going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get a. Oh, we'll see. I might even go over there. Whatever they want, I'm happy to do whatever.
Sean O'Malley dubbed the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena clash a elite-level banger, but insisted a potential Islam versus Ilia Topuria scrap would steal even more spotlight. He saluted Islam's dominant showing against Bilal Muhammad for ramping up the Jack hype. O'Malley added that if Jack stuffs the takedowns and lands flush, the tide could turn fast in his direction.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev. I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt. We'll give him that.
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Charles Oliveira acknowledged Jack as a legit danger due to his calm, calculated style. He described how Jack methodically dismantled Bilal Muhammad over time. Still, Oliveira anticipates Islam leaning on his wrestling, with the outcome boiling down to Jack's success in staying upright and connecting strikes.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Phil Rowe threw his full support behind Jack Della Maddalena, envisioning him defeating Islam Makhachev. He contended that Islam lacks the build to handle welterweight's bigger beasts, while Jack's knockout power and rapid pops back up from takedowns would prove too much. Rowe forecasted Jack ending it inside the distance.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man? Chilling. Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Jack Hermanson touched on the wild cards when fighters jump divisions. He called Islam Makhachev nearly invincible at lightweight and possibly the top pound-for-pound right now. Though he questions Islam's dominance at welterweight, he still edges toward him. Hermanson also commended Jack Della Maddalena's outing against Bilal Muhammad, but wants more proof before crowning him elite.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Craig Jones forecasted that Islam Makhachev is in for one of his stiffest challenges ever. He referenced Islam's initial bout with Alexander Volkanovski to show vulnerabilities against elite scramblers. Jones spotlighted Jack Della Maddalena's wild grappling flair and grip-breaking skills for adding chaos.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Bilal struggled with. Bilal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works.
Jones went on to applaud Jack's inventive approach, making him tougher to scout than blueprint followers like Bilal Muhammad. He noted Jack's size might surprise foes and predicted a crowd-pleasing, strike-heavy war that the UFC would love to promote.
But in terms of creativity in what Bilal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off-balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volk's work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out, even though potentially.
Overall, predictions split roughly 60-40 for Islam, but consensus screams tough fight. Likely decided by takedown success, with a stand-up heavy affair favoring Jack for a potential chaos or Islam's control, leading to submission or decision. Height builds around welterweight implications, with side notes on future Ilia Topuria clashes adding layers, but the focus remains on this as Islam's riskiest test yet.